When I had only 3 months left to live after taking the cursed blade meant for my husband Lucian, his first love Lily returned. When I endured the pain and prepared a dinner to commemorate our anniversary, he did not come back. He was having a steamy car session with Lily. When I went to the hospital alone to buy medicine, he was accompanying Lily for her pregnancy checkup. I pretended not to have noticed. I just silently played the role of a perfect wife and wrote him 4 letters as a gift for our anniversary. After I die, he saw the gifts I left behind and went completely insane. Scarlett's POV. I'm sorry, Luna Scarlett. Dr. Kane's voice was hoarse with emotion. You only have 3 months left. The heart failure is irreversible. With his words, the last glimmer of hope in my heart died. 5 years ago, to save my mate Lucian, my heart had been stabbed with a dagger. Now the old wound was acting up, causing my heart to fail. Over the past year, I'd visited every renowned healer in which I could find. None of them had a solution. After leaving the clinic, I took out my phone and looked at the photo of Lucian and me on the background. My fingers traced his smile before I turned off the screen. I returned to the pack house and immersed myself in preparing for our 5th anniversary dinner in the kitchen. Each dish was a memory herb-crusted venison from our first hunt together, moon-blessed mushrooms from the night he proposed, blood wine sauce that took me weeks to perfect because it was his favorite. My hands trembled as I set the table, imagining how he would react when he saw everything. He would hold me tight, I was sure. But should I tell him about my condition? My phone buzzed just as I finished setting the table. Lily's name flashed across the screen like a curse. Missing your precious mate? Don't bother waiting up. He's with me now, his true love. It's almost pathetic how quickly he came running when I called. Tell me, substitute Luna, how does it feel knowing he'd rather spend your anniversary with me than his duty-bound mate? Lily came back. She was the Shadow Pack Alpha's daughter and Lucian's first love. 5 years ago, when Lucian was imprisoned by the Shadow Pack, he had fallen for her. I still remembered begging Lily to help save Lucian. Her response had been ice cold. A prisoner? She'd sneered. I don't associate with weak wolves. Tell Lucian it's over, I'm mating with James tomorrow. In the end, I had used every ounce of strength to rescue Lucian from the Shadow Pack. He went on to become our pack's most powerful alpha, and I became his Luna. He promised he would love only me for the rest of his life. I tightly clenched my fist until my palms bled, fresh droplets staining the pristine tablecloth. I couldn't believe he would abandon our 5th anniversary for Lily. I dialed Lucian's number with trembling fingers. 1 ring. 2. 3. 4. My love. His voice was breathless, distracted. In the background I heard female laughter. Will you? My voice caught. Will you be home soon? Dinner's ready. And I thought since it's our anniversary. Gods, I'm sorry, but there's an urgent pack matter. I'll be late. Lucian, please. I know. I'll make it up to you. I have to go. The line went dead, leaving me alone with our cooling dinner and shattered dreams. The TV played in the background footage from that night 5 years ago. Lucian knelt before the entire pack, holding the legendary Heart of the Storm ring, a $1 billion moonstone that took him months to have crafted. Scarlet, his voice rang with such conviction then. You're my salvation, my heart, my everything. Be my Luna. Let me spend eternity proving that every breath I take is for you alone. I touched the Heart of the Storm ring on my finger, feeling its familiar warmth as it pulsed with healing magic. For 5 years, this ring had kept me alive after the injury I sustained saving Lucian. He'd sought out the most powerful witch to enchant it, ensuring it would continuously heal my body. I touched the ring on my finger and felt the healing magic that it was continuously delivering. But now even its powerful magic couldn't stop my heart from pain. The TV switched to an interview with Sarah, my closest friend in the pack. Their love story is legendary. Luna Scarlet has loved Alpha Lucian since childhood. When he was captured by the Shadow Pack, she infiltrated enemy territory alone in Omega with no wolf, risking everything to save him. She nearly died. And then she helped him become the most powerful alpha we've ever had. They're perfect together. Perfect. Right. The memories of that fateful rescue flooded back. I was 18, devastated by my failure to awaken a wolf. when news came that Lucian had been captured. Despite being an Omega without a wolf, I couldn't just let him die. After Lily coldly refused to help, I infiltrated the Shadow Pack alone. Without a wolf's enhanced senses or strength, it was almost impossible. But my love for Lucian gave me courage. I found him in their dungeons, broken and bleeding. The Shadow Alpha stood over him, silver dagger raised to strike Lucian's heart. Without thinking, I threw myself between them, blocked the dagger that was meant for him. Because I had no wolf, I couldn't heal naturally. The curse from that dagger nearly killed me then. And now, it was finally claiming its price. I only had 3 months left to live. Bitterness and hatred filled my heart. I had given him everything. My love, my life, my future. And now he was abandoning me on our anniversary for the Shadow Alpha's daughter. The same woman who had once betrayed him. Would they live happily ever after once I was gone? My fingers clenched into fists, fresh blood dripping onto the pristine tablecloth. No, I wouldn't tell him about my failing heart. I'm going to let him catch up with me when he finds out. Why should I give my life for him, and he get to spend the rest of his life happily with another woman? It's not fair. Since he betrayed our vows, I'm going to get back at him and this bitch, so that he'll never be able to have any joy or happiness for the rest of his life, so that he'll live in pain forever. Scarlett's POV. At 9:30 p.m., the den door finally opened. Lucian walked in, reeking of Lily's rose perfume, his collar stained with her signature red lipstick. I'm so sorry about dinner. Guilt laced his voice even as Lily's scent clung to his skin. The packed matter took longer than expected. My smile felt like broken glass. It's fine. Sit. Eat. The food's cold, but then again so is everything else these days. He sat awkwardly, guilt radiating from him as he picked at the cold food. I watched him memorizing every feature of the man I'd loved for 18 years. The venison. He tried weakly. It's perfect. Just like always. I pushed my plate away, unable to stomach another bite of our lies. You look tired, my alpha. You should rest. Relief flooded his face at the escape offer. Are you sure? We could still. Another time. My voice was soft, final. Go sleep. He hesitated for a moment before nodding. As he stood, he came around the table and pressed a kiss to my forehead. I'll make it up to you, I promise. We'll celebrate properly this weekend. I forced myself to smile, knowing there might not be many weekends left for us. Of course. Good night, my love. I watched him disappear up the stairs before letting my smile fall. Right now there was something more important I needed to do. In the quiet of Lucian's study, I sat at his massive oak desk, pulling out a sheet of cream-colored stationery. The desk lamp cast a warm glow over the paper as I picked up my pen. My beloved Lucian. On our wedding anniversary, I discovered that my heart is failing. The curse I took to save you has finally won. Dr. Kane says I have 3 months at most. My hand trembled slightly as I began to write down the first letter. A tear crossed my cheek, staining the ink. The morning sun hadn't yet risen when I started ironing Lucian's suit. My hands moved carefully over the fabric, smoothing each wrinkle with practiced care. The black veins beneath my skin pulsed with every movement, but I ignored the pain. Scarlett. Lucian's voice startled me. He stood in the doorway, hair tousled from sleep. Why are you up so early? Your council meeting is at 9. I focused on the suit sleeve, pressing it perfectly straight. I wanted to make sure everything was ready. He walked over, wrapping his arms around my waist from behind. His touch still made my heart race, even as it was dying. Mary can do this now. You don't have to. I want to. I turned in his arms, meeting his eyes. I iron your clothes by hand, just as I've always held you. Remember when you had one suit for all pack meetings? I ironed it every night so you'd look perfect the next day. His expression softened at the memory. Back when we barely had anything. But we had each other. I smoothed my hands over his chest, just as I'd done with the suit. That was enough. He pulled me closer, nuzzling my neck. You've always taken such good care of me. And I always will. For the next 3 months at least. He kissed my lips, his hands caressing my waist, back and hips. On so many previous mornings, we had embraced sweetly like this, until he almost ended up being late. But today, after I discovered his affair with Lily, I didn't know why he was still being so intimate with me. My heart suddenly ached. I gently pushed him away. Okay, any more kissing and you'll be late. My perfect Luna. He released me and kissed my forehead. But really, let Mary handle these things. I'm not that struggling wolf anymore. I'm the alpha now. Something in his tone made my chest tighten, but I smiled. At least let me make your lunch. I'm trying a new moonberry sauce recipe. His eyes lit up. You spoil me. In the kitchen, I carefully packed his favorite blood-rare venison sandwiches. Each ingredient was chosen with care, each detail perfect. Just like the mask I now wore around him. This smells amazing. Lucian appeared in his freshly pressed suit, looking every inch the powerful alpha. The other wolves will be jealous. I suddenly remembered the past when I was 14 and Lucian was 17. I was the one who made the most delicious venison sandwiches in the whole pack. Whenever they had to go on long-distance training, I would make the sandwiches for him to take with him, and the other warriors were all envious of him. Lucian is so lucky. He's the only one who can eat Scarlet's sandwiches. Back then I was the daughter of a beta, the most dazzling young lady in the storm pack, and a girl who was adored by everyone. No one would have thought that I didn't have a wolf of my own. What are you thinking about, Scarlet? Lucian asked curiously, and I suddenly snapped out of my reverie. Nothing, darling. I concealed my emotions. Have a good day, my alpha. I handed him the lunch package, standing on tiptoe to kiss his cheek. He caught me in another embrace. What did I do to deserve you? Nothing. And everything. Go. You'll be late. I held his back and walked him out the door. After walking for a while, I found a stack of council documents on his desk. Looking at the time, these documents should need his signature before noon. Mary, I called out loudly to our Omega servant. Yes, Luna. Is there anything I can do for you? Mary quickly ran over. Lucian dropped some documents. Could you please take them to his office for me? I handed the documents to her. As Mary was about to turn around, I changed my mind. Hold on. Give them to me instead. I'll take them to him. My intuition made me change my mind. I felt something was drawing me to go to Pack Hall. The morning air was crisp as I walked through the territory. Wolves nodded respectfully as I passed, but I caught their whispers. An Omega Luna with no wolf. The Alpha deserves better. I heard that Lily from the Shadow Pack has arrived. I pretended not to have heard anything and walked past them. The Pack Hall bustled with activity. Lucian's office door was partially open, voices drifting out. These sandwiches are incredible. Lily's voice made me freeze. But Scarlet made them for you. It's just lunch. Lucian's casual dismissal felt like a silver blade to my heart. If you like them, I'll have her make them every day for you. You're too good to me, Lucian. The sound of her using his name so intimately made me flinch. Alpha's got excellent taste. Beta Jack's loud voice joined in. Lily's from the noblest Shadow Pack bloodline. Now that's a proper mate for our leader. Unlike our current Luna, Gamma Liam added with a snicker. What kind of Luna has no wolf? It's embarrassing. Remember when she tried to join the pack hunt? Jack laughed. Couldn't even keep up. Had to have Alpha carry her back. At least she's good at domestic tasks, Liam said. Like a well-trained Omega servant. Lily heard their words and smiled smugly, but said, You shouldn't say that, Lucian will be upset. I waited for Lucian to defend me. To remind them how I'd saved his life, helped him become Alpha, stood by him when everyone else abandoned him. But he just remained silent. The documents slipped from my trembling hands, but I caught them before they hit the floor. Silent tears fell as I listened to them continue. You're too kind, Lucian. Lily's voice dripped with false modesty. But really, what does Scarlet even contribute to the pack? She can't hunt, can't fight, can't even shift. She's good at making lunch, Jack joked, and they all laughed, including Lucian. I clutched the documents to my chest. The curse's black magic pulsed through my veins, matching the rhythm of my breaking heart. My phone buzzed with Lucian's message. I'm sorry, little Lottie, but I'm going to be late tonight, and I've got some important things to take care of in the pack. I love you. I tipped to him an okay back. Did you tell her you weren't coming home today? Lily asked. Of course, baby. I've promised to spend the day with you. Lucian's adorable address ripped my heart out. So that's what he meant by important. My heart felt like it had been stabbed again, my chest was tight and every breath was torture. Lily's petulant giggle entered my ears along with her breath. Once Lucian had told me that I was the most important thing to him. Now he had something even more important. My heart seemed to be held in my hands and clutched hard. Blood instantly rushed into my brain. The suffocating feeling made my eyes go black, and before I collapsed, the last thing that came into my eyes was Lucian's shiny leather shoes that I had polished. Scarlett's POV. Scarlett. Lucian's voice cut through the haze. Someone get the pack doctor. Strong arms lifted me. Even through the pain, I could smell Lily's perfume on his shirt. The scent made my stomach turn. She's burning up, I heard him say. Her heart's racing too fast. The curse pulsed beneath my skin, feeding on my pain, growing stronger with each betrayal. I woke to white walls and the sharp smell of antiseptic. Lucian sat beside my bed in the pack's medical wing. His face etched with what looked like genuine concern as he held my hand. You scared me, he whispered, brushing hair from my face. What were you doing outside my office? The council documents, I managed. You forgot them at home. His thumb traced circles on my palm. You should have sent Mary. You're not well. I hesitated, then decided to test him. I thought I saw Lily earlier in the pack hall. His hand stiffened for just a heartbeat. She's visiting. You know how it is, she's from the Shadow Pack's noble line. We need to maintain good relations. Of course. I turned away, unable to bear his lies. Diplomatic relations are important. Scarlett, look at me. He cupped my face, forcing me to meet his eyes. You're my Luna, my mate. I could never lose you. Don't you know that? The words might have meant something yesterday. Before I'd heard him laugh at my weaknesses. His phone buzzed. Something flashed across his face as he read the message. You need food, he said quickly. I'll go back and have Mary bring you something to eat. Rest, my love. He stood up immediately and I took his hand just in time. Can you stay with me a little longer, honey? I'm not hungry yet. I took his hand in mine and pleaded in a low voice for him not to go. He hesitantly sat down again and took my hand in his. Then you'll have to talk to me when you're hungry, little Lottie. But I clearly sensed that he was distracted. And just then his cell phone rang again and he checked it quickly. This time without hesitation. Lottie, I just remembered. There's another paper in the office that I need to sign. And then I'll be back with dinner for you. Wait for me to get back, honey. He asked me perfunctorily about my forehead and left quickly. The moment he left, I pulled out the 4. My legs shook as I stood, but determination drove me forward. I'll go back and have Mary bring you something to eat. I followed their mingled scents into the woods behind the medical wing. The physical exertion left my chest burning. My vision kept fading in and out, and my stomach was cramping. But when I saw the scene in front of me, I felt nauseous and like I was going to vomit. Lucian embraced the naked Lily, leaning her against an ancient oak tree. Lily wrapped her legs around his waist and her arms around him. Lucian thrust into her body forcefully, and Lily let out broken moans, making bile rise in my throat. My powerful alpha, Lily purred. Such a hero, rushing to save me the moment I called. Who told you to send me your nude photos? Lucian said, pounding hard. Didn't you want me to f.k.you? What about your perfect Luna? Lily's laugh was cruel. The pack can't stop praising her domestic talents. I wonder how skilled she is in bed? Stop talking about Scarlett all the time and focus. Lucian was obviously more addicted to her flesh, his large hands rubbing her breasts as he slammed into her harder. His lips nibbled at her shoulder. Well, don't mention her, baby. I know you're just political ex-Beta Alexander's daughter. She's very useful to you, isn't she? Oh, Lucian, be gentle. You're hurting me. Who told you to still talk about Scarlett? She's my perfect Luna. The best woman in the world. Lucian continued to lick and nibble at her shoulder boobs, causing Lily to moan and moan. My mind flashed back to 4 years ago. Thomas, a visiting alpha's son, had mocked me at a pack gathering. What kind of wolf can't even shift? He'd sneered. You're not fit to be Luna. Lucian had nearly killed him, roaring that I was worth 100 wolves, that my heart held more strength than any shifter. Now he rutted against another woman, reducing our bond to mere convenience. I was jealous, you were so good to her and she loved you so much, Lily said with false sympathy. Following you around like a lost pup, cooking and cleaning. She has to be good at something, doesn't she? Can't hunt, can't fight, can't even shift. At least she's useful in the kitchen. Come on baby, turn your back to me. How do you think I compare to your ex-husband? Of course you are more powerful, my alpha. Their lewd laughter shattered the last glimmer of hope in my heart. I stumbled back to the pack house, fury building with each step. For 18 years I'd loved him. For 5 years I'd been his mate. I'd taken a death curse for him, helped him become alpha, dedicated every breath to his happiness, and he'd thrown it all away for his true love. He let her insult my dignity. I in my study, I pulled out my finest paper. My hand shook with rage as I began writing the second letter. You want to see me as nothing but a convenient stepping stone. I thought as I wrote. I'll show you exactly what you're losing. Each word was carefully chosen to cut deep when he finally read it. When I finished, I placed it in an ornate gift box alongside the first letter. The $1 billion ring on my finger caught the light. Lucian had it crafted by the most powerful shamans, infused with healing magic that had probably kept me alive these past 5 years. Your health is my priority, he'd said when he slipped it on my finger. This will protect you always. I didn't need his protection anymore. I didn't want it. The auction house owner gasped when I placed the ring on his desk.
Luna Escarlet.
This is the legendary Heart of the Storm ring. The healing magic alone. Listed immediately. I cut him off. Starting bid is $10 million. Let him see how little his protection meant to me now. I left the auction house and returned to the pack house. I thought Lucian wouldn't come home today. Unexpectedly after dinner, while I was tidying up my clothes, he suddenly barged in. Scarlet! Lucian shouted my name loudly, making me turn around. He was standing at the door, pale-faced and shaken. Why? Why did you leave the hospital so early? I feel much better, so I was discharged. I don't like the cold feeling of the treatment center. I replied calmly, looking him in the eye. Well. His tone was hesitant. Why did you want to sell the Heart of the Storm ring? Scarlet's POV. Lucian's question about the ring hung in the air between us. I stared at him, mind racing for an explanation that wouldn't reveal how much I knew. Scarlet. His voice grew worried at my silence. Talk to me, my love. I lowered my eyes, letting him draw his own conclusions. It worked. It's because Lily's back, isn't it? He ran his fingers through his hair in frustration. You're feeling insecure. If only you knew what I saw in those woods, I thought bitterly. I understand she's from a noble bloodline, I said softly. It's natural for people to compare us. There's nothing to compare. He pulled me into his arms, the same arms that had held Lily just hours ago. You're my Luna. And she's just past tense 5 years ago, that is. The next morning he arrived at breakfast looking triumphant. A familiar box sat beside my plate. Open it, he urged, eyes bright with pride. Inside lay the Heart of the Storm ring, its enchanted moonstone gleaming. I couldn't let anyone else have it, he explained, lifting it from the box. Paid $10 million over the asking price to make sure of it. He took my hand, sliding the ring back onto my finger. Immediately, I felt its healing magic pulse through my veins, fighting against the curse's darkness. There, he said softly. Where it belongs. You need this ring, my love. It keeps you strong. I stared at the ring, remembering how he'd commissioned it specially, working with the most powerful shamans to infuse it with protective magic. I've been thinking, he continued, pulling me closer. Scarlet, I thought about it all night last night. I owe you so much that we never had a proper wedding ceremony. I was just becoming alpha then, the pack was unstable. I tensed in his embrace, the memory of him with Lily still fresh in my mind. You deserved better than a quick mating ritual, he said, misinterpreting my reaction. Let me give you the ceremony you should have had. We'll go try on wedding dresses today. The exclusive bridal boutique catered only to high-ranking pack members. The owner herself greeted us, bowing deeply.
Luna Escarlet.
Alpha Lucian. What an honor. My mate deserves the finest, Lucian declared. Show us everything. Dress after dress was brought out. Silks, laces, enchanted fabrics that shimmed like moonlight. Each one more beautiful than the last. But they all shared the same fatal flaw. Perhaps something with a higher back? I suggested, trying to keep my voice steady as another backless gown revealed my scar. The huge mark stretched from my shoulder to my hip, twisted and dark, a permanent reminder of the source of the pain I now suffered. That day, after I had pounced on Lucian and deflected the fatal blow for him with my back, the cursed silver dagger plunged into my chest, but Shadowpack's Alpha didn't stop there, as he scratched more wounds into my back, forming a gruesome pattern. Poor little Omega, since you're so heartbroken about this man, it's up to you to take the pain for him. That day my blood stained the floor of my cell. I remembered the old days and looked in the mirror. Is nothing suitable? The attendant asked nervously after the 10th dress. I caught my reflection. The gown was stunning from the front, a masterpiece of white silk and silver threading. But the open back displayed every inch of ruined flesh. The scar. It's ugly, isn't it? I whispered, fingers tracing it through the fabric. Of course not. My brave Luna, Lucian murmured, appearing behind me. His arms wrapped around my waist. This is the wound you suffered for me, a beautiful medal, a pain I will never forget. His scent surrounds me, and every pore on my body is screaming to push him away. But I couldn't. Not if I wanted to maintain this facade until my plan was complete. We'll have one custom made, he declared. Price is no object. The most expensive, the most beautiful, worthy of my perfect mate. His phone buzzed. I glimpsed Lily's name on the screen before he quickly turned it face down. You're too good to me, I said softly, the lies burning my throat. Lucian, I love you so much. He kissed my temple, and I forced myself to lean into it. Anything for you, my love. We then selected the custom-made style of the wedding dress, fully covered at the back, made of moonlight satin, with the diamond-inlaid pattern of the moon on it. Lucian said this represents that I am his eternal Luna. Looking at Lucian's serious and tender eyes as he said those words should have been the happiest moment of our lives. But at this point I just felt the irony of being so divided by the man in front of me. I didn't understand how he could sleep with Lily while being so tender and caring to me. Tears of heartbreak involuntarily welled up in my eyes. Looking at my tears, Lucian's hands were busy getting tissues for me to wipe my tears, while gently holding my shoulders and comforting me by saying that he wasn't going to go to the office today, and that he was going to stay with me for the whole day. I wiped away my tears. It's okay, Lucian, I just feel so happy. I looked at him tenderly, knowing in my heart that he couldn't be with me all day. Sure enough, his cell phone rang twice more while we waited for Tommy, the driver, to pick it up. That's okay, Lucian dear, if something's wrong, you go ahead and get busy. I knew who it was, but I kept up my thoughtful and gentle image and looked at him with understanding eyes. Scarlett. He hesitated, guilt flickering across his face. There's an emergency at the Pack Hall. I need to handle it. Of course. I smiled encouragingly, playing my part perfectly. Go. I can get home myself. Precisely at that moment the driver Tommy arrived, and Lucian looked apologetically at me. I've asked Tommy to take you home. No need, I can go back by myself. I waved my hand. No, your body is not yet fully recovered, let him take you back, I will feel more at ease. Lucian's concerned gaze, and the person in the forest yesterday, seemed to be two different people. I compromised. Okay, I'll go back then. After that I was ready to get in the car. He quickly kissed me, then helped me open and close the car door like a gentleman. As we waved goodbye and he became smaller in the rearview mirror, I calmly told Tommy, turn around at the intersection from that road. I need to go to Pack Hall. But Luna, Alpha told me to take you home. From the rearview mirror, I saw Tommy's puzzled gaze. Alpha asked me to help him deliver a file.
Elite casually.
My reasons were impeccable, and Tommy had no choice but to listen to me. He turned around in front and headed back, and I had him stop by the side of the road at Pack Hall. Sure enough, 5 minutes later I saw Lily's figure. She was wearing a deep V-neck red dress and swaying her hips as she walked through the big door.